Hello, I'm Alex Turk, and you're listening to the Food Systems podcast brought to you by the Forum for the Future of Agriculture. I had the pleasure of talking to keynote speakers and panelists at the forum in Brussels this year. Here's a flavour of some of their insights and ideas for you to enjoy. Petra Laux, welcome to the 17th forum this year. You are, of course, the Chief Sustainability Officer for agricultural technology company Syngenta, the founding partner of the Forum for the Future of Agriculture. Petra, why is the forum in its 17th year now still important, still relevant?
Thanks, Alex, for the invitation. I think the forum is still relevant because we haven't solved the problems, right? So agriculture has a great history. Farmers have a great history in providing food for the people at about the same amount of land in the last 60 years. But with an increasing population, that's very clear. But now we have new challenges coming on top. We need to look after the climate. Agriculture is in charge of 25% of emissions, roughly. It's 70% of fresh water use. We know very much water is no longer secure. It's a major cause for biodiversity decline, simply because the land is used for agriculture. So there is a lot of challenges we haven't mastered yet.
How would you describe the balance of agriculture with its problems of, taking inputs and taking from the land to grow those outputs, but also agriculture as one of the areas in which we can solve some of these issues of biodiversity and indeed mitigate climate change?
It's a very interesting perspective here. In fact, we are working in a sector that is a cause of the environmental problems we are having, but it's also the opportunity to probably, I saw data, capture about a quarter to a third of man-made emissions in the soils through restoring depleted soils and capturing more carbon in the soil through the right agricultural practice. So yes, right, there is a way to get it right, and we are having technology to get it right, and this is the good thing here.
And we have lots of voices from technology, from civil society, so NGOs. We have farmers' voice, so important still, and are the politicians listening, because we're here in Brussels. Those who hold the policy levers are here. You'll be involved in a session later when you will be looking at the vision for agriculture in Europe and Commissioner Hansen's published view in February this year. What do you want to say to the forum? What do you want to hear? What voices are important?
We have carefully studied the new vision that has been put out last month. And we were very pleased to see that the farmer is at the center, actually, of the thinking now, because the farmer is the one who's acting, who's implementing. You can't define policy. We can't leave people behind by sitting somewhere at the desk. So that is a very, very good step. Now, the question is, how can we all make this work, helping, empowering farmers? From where we are coming, we believe we need to provide the farmers with tools. If you look at it, Europe has been pretty closed for innovation in the last 10 years. In agriculture, we are pleased to see there is no interest to reopen Europe again for innovation, in particular in biocontrols, in new genetic techniques, but also there's a huge potential with digital developments to enable farmers to make the right decisions.
Do you feel that there is, therefore, a mindset shift that you would welcome, in the sense that when we look at the precautionary principle that the EU clearly holds dear, when we look at I can't say the word, reciprocity plans, but the idea that we have, we're looking at equal standards, particularly, with your background in being at the forefront of agricultural innovation. How do you see it?
So there's certainly a mind shift change that agriculture not only has to be sustainable but also competitive, because as a farmer you can't be green if your bank account is red. So this has been acknowledged. It has to work. It's the same in an organization like ours. I have to be sustainable and competitive. I cannot develop technologies that I can't sell because they are not able to compete with existing tools available. So this thinking that actually we need to lead the world, we need to lead in agriculture with being both sustainable and competitive, is a reality, and this is the challenge we need to master. So that is really good. The precautionary principle, so if you look at it, Europe has currently available about 43% of the tools that farmers globally have due to a different mindset in regulation. We hope that we can make an inroad in being open more for innovation, particularly in the new genetic techniques, where we get better seeds that can live with less water, still provide high yields, being resistant to drought, being resistant to pests. That's a huge opportunity we are facing.
So we had Mike Massimano talk to us right at the start, the NASA astronaut, about the need to focus on the mission, the need to focus on collaboration. And yet, of course, we know that we have many voices that will not agree. We share those voices and that platform. So do you have cause for optimism when you look at, in the 17 years of the forum, how far we've gone, and yet, as you say, the problems are not yet solved?
Mike made a very important point, is you need to spend more time on those who you are different opinion on. So yes, maybe the global challenge, climate change is becoming more pressing, not less. Geopolitical is becoming more pressing, not less. So it's helpful possibly to bring us together and talk even more.
And we talk about the fears attached to geopolitics, and that's one of the sessions today. You know, we're talking, of course, about the effects of potential trade wars. So, you know, the ability to have your voice heard at the forum, that's going to be essential moving forward.
It's very much also when we look at trade. So, free trade in agriculture helps keeping food affordable, which is a really important piece in the global context. Still, another speaker reminded us 700 million people, which is nearly a tenth of the population, is still hungry today, every day. So being able to move commodities around is a huge factor of supply security. And this also goes back to what we said before, these mirror clauses. So we don't think it's a good idea if Europe tries to, restrict trade through import attachments that have not been grounded in science, but just in a different way of thinking on agriculture. It's a big concern for us and for the farmers.
Yes, well, thank you. Well, we'll hear all those voices, of course, shared today, so to enjoy the rest of the forum. Thank you, Petra.
Thanks, Alex.
You've been listening to another edition of the Food Systems Podcast, brought to you by the Forum for the Future of Agriculture. It's been a pleasure having you with us. Please join us again next time.